The goodness and the fullness of God make me thankful. Pity the hateful, I'm grateful.
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purpose, such as criticism, commenting, news, reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, education, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
This is way over the edge. Like we it's not even over the edge. We died already.
This is beyond the event horizon. Like we about to hit the vortex.
Yeah, we about to hit the vortex.
Yeah.
One day.
How are you? Because you did just walk in. You was kind of late. So
Well, I try to be on time.
Well,
Apparently, I'm 40 seconds late. You're right.
well, you are black. So
Uh-huh.
okay. Now, now one thing they've been.
Yo, fuck nuts.
Huh? Nah.
Bro, what you on?
Saying a lot of your press hits get criticized. Folks say you come off as very scripted. They say you like to stick to your talking points, and some media says you have.
That would be called discipline.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
okay. Speak to that.
But go on.
No, I was gonna say some people say you have an inability to fearlessly say who you are and what you believe. I know that's not true. But what do you say to that criticism? And is it fair for SNL to make fun of it?
Hasn't Maya Rudolph been wonderful?
Yes.
I think I have nothing but admiration for the comedy, and I think it's important to be able to laugh at yourself and each other.
But what do you say? People
in the spirit of obviously comedy and not belittling people as my opponent would do.
But what do you say to people who say you stay on the talking points?
I would say you're welcome.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, listen, here's the thing. I love having conversations, which is why I'm so happy to be with you this afternoon. And the reality is that there are certain things that must be repeated to ensure that I have everyone know what I stand for and the issues that I think are at stake in this election.
Mm-hmm.
And so it requires repetition. Some people say that until someone has heard the same thing at least 3 times, it just doesn't stay with you. So repetition is important. And for most critical issues that are at stake in this election.
There has to be a high level of anxiety too when you have these conversations, though, because you are running for president.
I mean, you know what? There's certainly a lot of, I feel the weight
Mm-hmm.
of the moment and my role. I feel an extraordinary weight of responsibility right now to do everything I can. I'm telling you, Charlemagne, when I go to bed at night, I almost every night, in addition to my prayers, will ask, have I done everything I could do today?
What the hell?
This is a margin of error race. It's tight. I'm going to win. I'm going to win. But it's tight. And, what is at stake is truly profound and almost and historic, many would say. And it's about, some people would say this lofty notion of supporting and preserving our democracy.
Mhm.
But it is about real issues that affect people every day, like whether we're going to maintain a $35 cap on insulin for our seniors, whether we're going to continue to allow Medicare to negotiate drug prices to bring them down, whether we are going to have, as my opponent would have, a formalized stop and frisk policy, for which he has said if a police department does not do it, they should be defunded or not. There is so much at stake, whether America is going to stand on its principles around the importance of sovereignty and territorial integrity and stand with our allies around the world, or whether we're going to admire dictators and send, during the height of COVID in the pandemic, COVID tests that nobody could get to the president of Russia for his personal use when Black people were dying every day by the hundreds during that time.
Yeah, I feel like that one has gone over people's heads.
I mean, I invite.
Why should I care?
Remember people who lost their grandparents and parents. Remember what that was like during the height of COVID, and a lot of it, people were scrambling for the resources and needed tests. And Donald Trump, during that time, secretly sent COVID tests to the president of Russia, who, by the way, do not forget, in the 2016 election, because I was a member of the Senate Intelligence Committee when we investigated it, targeted Black voters in 2016 with mis and disinformation to discourage Black people from voting in that election. And this is just another of the very many examples of who Donald Trump really is.
Yes,
and
Hey, y'all, gravity, and even above ground, live it. Hope y'all had a fantastic day. It's funny that she's bringing this up, yet her side won. So why are you bringing this up? You won. Even if Black folks stayed home, you still won, correct? Correct.
danger he presents
Yeah,
to real people.
Sending COVID tests to Russia, that doesn't sound very America first at all. But it's not just you versus Trump, it's you versus misinformation.
Yes, that's true.
Right. And one of the biggest pieces of misinformation.
What about that money you sent to Ghana and Uganda?
One of
The money you personally took with you to Ghana.
biggest allegations against you is that you targeted and locked up thousands of black men in San Francisco for weed. Some say you did it to boost your career. Some say you did it out of pure hate for black men. Please tell us the facts. What's the facts of that situation?
It's just simply not true. And what public defenders who are around those days will tell you, I was the most progressive prosecutor in California on marijuana cases and would not send.
That's not. Let's hear the question again. Maybe we didn't hear it correctly.
In San Francisco for weed. Some say you did it to boost your career. Some say you did it out of pure hate for black men. Please tell us the facts. What's the facts of that situation?
It's just simply not true. And what public defenders who are around those days will tell you, I was the most progressive prosecutor in California on marijuana cases.
What about the rest of them, ma'am? What about all those cases that y'all prosecuted and left people in there longer than their sentences? What about the $27 million class action lawsuit that y'all gave the prisoners when they sued for that? Bring this broad to me. I bet you when I ask her that question, she's gonna look there and she's gonna start stuttering.
And would not send people to jail for simple possession of weed. And as vice president, have been a champion for bringing marijuana down on the schedule. So instead of it being ranked up there with heroin, we bring it down. And my pledge is, as president, I will work on decriminalizing it because I know exactly how those laws have been used to disproportionately impact certain populations and specifically black men.
Mm-hmm. Before we get into the talkback feature and take some questions from the audience, I do want to talk to you about the legalization of weed, because you're saying you want to legalize it now. What steps did the Biden administration take to get closer to that reality?
So we had to work with the DEA, and there's a certain level of bureaucracy that exists in the federal government that slows things down, but essentially to bring down how weed is classified, how marijuana is classified, to make it classified as a lesser harm.
Mm-hmm.
And so that took some time. There's a whole process around that, but that's the work that we have done. In addition,
Madam, that's for Fed cases. DEA is federal. If you're going to do that, you have to go to the local and state level. You really think NYPD is going to listen to the DEA? You think Miami PD is going to listen to the DEA on weed charges? Atlanta PD, LAPD, San Francisco, Houston, Chicago PD. You really think they're going to listen to the DEA on weed? Okay.
Into work that we have done writ large on criminal justice reform.
Okay. Let's take some calls. Let's take some, well, not calls. Let's go to the talkback feature.
My question for Kamala is, why are we, and I say we because my tax dollars is sending the money, why are we sending money to other countries when we desperately need it in our own country for homeless, housing, resources, for whatever? That is my determining factor if I vote for Kamala or not.
That's one of the reasons the America First rhetoric resonates, because nobody in America would complain about where money was going if American citizens' everyday needs were being met. So what do you say to that?
We can do it all, and we do. So first of all, I maintain very strongly America should never pull ourselves away. We can do it all, and we do. So first of all, I maintain very strongly America should never pull ourselves away. We can do it all, and we do.
There you go. Anybody that was on the fence about voting for her or Trump, there you go. She just told y'all, we got the money. We're going to put it anywhere we want to. Damn what you think.
So first of all, I maintain very strongly America should never pull ourselves away from our responsibility as a world leader. And that is in the best interest of our national security and each one of us as Americans and our standing in the world. To American citizens, obviously, and people who are here to meet their everyday needs and challenges, which is why, for example, we have done the work in the last 4 years of bringing down the cost of prescription medication, whether it be $35 a month for seniors for insulin,
oh, good
or
God.
$2,000
You
a
just
year
said this
on prescription medication.
She's repeating herself.
What we have done that has been about putting $17 billion in our HBCUs. I am proud to be the first HBCU vice president of the United States. I intend to be the first HBCU president.
Say that again.
What we have done that has been about putting $17 billion in our HBCU.
Ma'am, I thought it was 16. Now it's 17. She can't even keep the script straight. Charlemagne, you getting lied to, brother. Let me see if you're gonna check her. Probably not, because you a full coon. You're gonna let her lie like this. Okay. Continue. Now it's 17 billion. Okay. All right, they found $1 billion somewhere.
I am proud to be the first HBCU vice president of the United States. I intend to be the first HBCU president
go with the
of the United States. Those resources are about sending them to centers of academic excellence that I know them to be. The work that I continue to do is about increasing access to capital for our small businesses. It is about increasing the opportunity for home ownership, knowing that Black people are 40% less likely to be homeowners in America. We have a history of legal and procedural obstacles to that home ownership, starting with the fact nobody got 40 acres and a mule, to redlining, to issues that this Detroit area and people around the country know to be real. So part of my plan is that we're going to give people a $25,000 down payment assistance to get their foot in the door to buy a home for first.
Ma'am, you sat in front of Uncle Roro and was talking about redlining. You put up something that said we need to have a study. She not finna do this right now. She not gonna piss me off this late. Don't piss me off. Please don't piss me off this late. You literally just said I dropped my can. You literally said earlier today, study. Oh man, she's pissing me off. Okay.
First-time home buyers. The work that I'm going to do to increase housing supply in America, knowing that that's one of the reasons that rents and housing prices are jacked up, and to work with the private sector, cut through the red tape, and work to build more housing, 3 million before the end of my first term. And I give these examples, and there are many more which I will offer. So, for example, the work that I will do to extend the child tax credit to $6,000
You
for
could have
young
done that
families during the
50
first year of
years.
their child's life. Because as you and I both know, our families all have a natural desire to parent their children well, but not always the resources.
Mhm.
So by expanding the child tax credit to the first year of a child's life to $6,000, that gives that young family the ability to buy a car seat or a crib or
Ma'am, when did you ever use the 6,000? When did you get a child tax credit? You mean Doug got it? You ain't got no cheering. Man, don't tell me you out here scamming the system. Don't tell me that. I think she's scamming the system.
clothes, the things that are so important during that critical phase of that child's development so that they can get on the road and actually have a chance at succeeding.
You know, you said we can do it all, but can we? Because, you know, Tupac famously said, you know, we got money for war, but can't feed the poor, right? And I saw President Obama say last week that, you know, you really shouldn't expect, you know, a president to rid the world of all of its problems. And so is it fair to tell people, hey, we can do it all? Because that's when people get disappointed, when things don't happen.
But I think President Obama is absolutely correct, but it doesn't mean we can't do anything.
That's right.
So when I talk about extending the child tax credit, when I was vice president, I pushed that we would do it during our first year. And we reduced black child poverty in America by 50%.
Oh,
We
good
did
God.
that.
Where is this? Where is it? Where is it? Y'all keep saying that. Where's the data? I need this answered.
We can do that. My plan that is about building up home ownership in the black community. We can do that. My work that has been about increasing access to capital, bringing billions more dollars into our community banks, which I've done as vice president through cooperation and partnership with some of the big banks and tech companies to get more access to capital for our entrepreneurs, for our businesses. We've done that. So we should never sit back and say, okay, I'm not going to vote because everything hasn't been solved. I share a desire that everything should be solved, by the way. I think it is what we should all want. But that shouldn't stand in the way of us also knowing we can participate in a process that's about improving things. And by voting in this election, you have two choices, or you don't vote, but you have two choices if you do. And it's two very different visions for our nation.
Why are you not calling out the script?
One mind that is about taking us forward and progress and investing in the American people, investing in their ambitions, dealing with their challenges. And the other, Donald Trump, is about taking us backward.
The other is about fascism. Why can't we just say it?
Yes, we can say that.
Yeah. Reverend Solomon Kinlock Jr., I want you to meet him. He is the senior pastor of
Oh,
Triumph
good
Church.
God.
Where's Reverend Kinlock?
Oh, he's here.
Come on, tell Secret Service, move out the way. It's okay. It's just the Reverend. Yeah.
Hey, Reverend.
What's up, Reverend?
Madam Vice President Charlemagne,
Yes,
thank
sir.
y'all for being in Detroit tonight.
And there it is. And there it is. The first person you bring in to talk to this woman is not somebody from the streets that got a 9-to-5 that needs answers. You bring in a pastor. They're making me mad. And I was having a great night. I knew I should have did this in the morning. No, I should have done this in the morning.
Yes, we can say that.
Yeah. Reverend Solomon Kinlock Jr., I want you to meet him. He is the senior pastor of Triumph Church. Where's Reverend Kinlock?
Oh, he's here.
Come on, tell Secret Service, move out the way. It's okay. It's just the Reverend. Yeah, all right.
Hey, Reverend.
What's up, Reverend?
Madam Vice President Charlemagne,
Yes,
thank
sir.
y'all for being in Detroit tonight.
Thank you.
Recently, Madam Vice President, by one of Trump's surrogates from the Black faith-based community, you've been criticized by him and others for your lack of engagement to the Black church. Knowing that the Black church is an unrivaled place in the heart of Black people, what could you speak to as it relates to a future Harris administration, how you would partner with the Black church to address some of the urgent needs of the Black community? Dr. King talked about the fierce urgency of right now, and the church, Triumph Church, is in that place.
So first of
Now
all,
it's Dr. King.
that allegation, of course, is coming from the Trump team because they are full of mis and disinformation because they are trying to disconnect me from the people I have worked with and that I am from.
You mean the same people when Reverend Al asked you to go talk to him in Buffalo, you didn't want to go? Man, when the last time you've been in Black church, if ever? I think we'd like that question answered. When last time you got some? When last time you sung a real hymn? I get it though. Go ahead, pork chop pastor. Go ahead. Go get your fill so you could go tell your congregation you talk to Kamami.
So that they can try and have some advantage in this election, because otherwise they have nothing to run on. I grew up in the Black church.
Oh my God.
I grew up attending 23rd Avenue Church of God in Oakland, California.
Oh my God. So your Indian mama took you to a Black church. Oh, your Jamaican daddy took you to a Black church. Oh my God. Oh man.
That's church.
Yes, that is church. My pastor is Amos C. Brown of Third Baptist Church in San Francisco, California.
Yes.
I have throughout my career and as vice president and recently
God is good.
been actively engaged in the church and church leaders, not only so we can share in fellowship, but so we can share in what we can do together that is about supporting the community, the strength of the community, the cohesion of the community. And it is my longstanding work, and therefore my pledge going forward. I will always work closely with the church because I understand who our church leaders are and who the congregation is. We are talking about people who are driven by faith and the ability to see what is possible by faith, where I was raised, and I know many of us were, understanding that our God is a loving God, that our faith propels us to act in a way that is about kindness and justice and mercy, that is about lifting one another up. And let's talk about the contrast here. Donald Trump and his followers spend full time trying to suggest that the measure of the strength of a leader is based on who you beat down, which is absolutely contrary to the church I know.
He sells Bibles, though.
Where our church and my church is about saying true leadership, the measure of that is based on who you lift up.
Oh my God.
And then he's selling $60 Bibles.
She just went in front of Detroit and told them about rising tide lift all boats. My God. Claudette, no, that's not good. Go get the cocoa butter, madam. Lord.
Or tennis shoes, and trying to play people as though that makes him more understanding of the Black community.
Ma'am, you wore Chucks and pearls in 2020. You hear this? Yes, Trump was an a-hole for selling $300 sneakers. Ma'am, you put on Chuck Taylors. You walking off planes with Tim's on. Man, miss me.
Unity, come on.
Thank you, Reverend.
Thank you for the correction.
Thank you, Reverend.
And God
Get
good.
your ass back in
Every day, all the
downtown.
time.
There you go. Make sure you get that right. Now, have you seen the clip, Madam Vice President, from the griot? It's a clip that's kind of out of context, and it says,
Oh, good
did
God.
you
Here we
do
go.
anything specifically for Black people? Have you seen that? Have you?
I've not seen that.
Well, it's a clip that has you saying that you're not going to do anything specifically for Black people.
Well, that's just not true. And listen, again, you said it at the beginning of this visit, Charlemagne. One of the biggest challenges that I face is mis and disinformation. And it's purposeful.
Oh, God.
Because it is meant to convince people that.
Okay, fine. We'll help you, madam. You said, I'm not going to do something that's only going to benefit Black people. No, because when we commit policy and we make it for the Black community, it's going to help everybody. You don't tell any other group that, madam. You do not go to the Latinos with Latin specific policy and tell them that's going to help out every other community. That's why Nuri Martinez got in trouble and De Leon and them got in trouble in LA, because they tried to help out the Latinos specifically while denigrating Black folks. And she don't got a job no more. She's probably on OnlyFans now.
Oh, I don't like saying that. I don't like saying that. Oof.
How did the C-19 bill help everybody if you were not AAPI? How did the legislation after slavery ended, when y'all pay, when your government, the one you're working for and you're trying to run, the predecessors paid off the slave owners for loss of property, which were the slaves? How did that benefit everybody? Let us know. How does y'all are sitting up here every time there's supposed to be Afrocentric policy, it has to be all lives matter. I ask again, why is the Crown Act not federal? Y'all giving us this John Lewis BS bill that does nothing. You complain that they didn't pass the George Floyd Anti-Policing Act. I wonder why. Every time reparations comes up, everybody decides they found some nuts that day. Now they want to be outside loud talking about that. You can't do that. Oh, but when the U.S. facilitates with Europe reparations for Jews, nobody says a word. I don't hear the Z word being thrown around. Maybe their Belle Biv DeVoe kicked in at that point. I'm sure you didn't say a word after 9/11 when the Muslims got their nice little reparations package from Bush and them. I'm sure you didn't complain. Huh. Okay. Got it. I just want to know where we stand. But continue. You and Charlemagne, get back to the dancing.
Get to work! They somehow should not believe that the work that I have done has occurred and has meaning. My work from the beginning of my career through today has been about, for example, we've talked about it, whether it be on HBCUs, whether it be on healthcare, Black maternal mortality. I am singularly, many would say.
You forgot about that, by the way, that last part.
One of the highest level leaders in our country to bring the issue of Black maternal mortality to the stage of the White House.
You did it for a year and then forgot about it.
To address it, the work that I've done that has been about focusing on my knowledge and my experience and my life experience of knowing the entrepreneurship that we have in the community, the ambition, the aspirations, the dreams, and then tapping into that so that not only has my work been about ensuring that we have some of the lowest Black unemployment ever.
Oh, God. It was already there, madam. Putting back jobs that were lost is not lowest Black unemployment. Okay. And if there is low Black unemployment, let me ask this question. Why is Black wealth not rising? I'm just asking for a friend. Because when the scumbag that came before you did it, miraculously, a whole bunch of Black people showed up in the middle class. But y'all will keep telling us that there's low Black unemployment, but Black wealth ain't moving. So somebody's math is not mathing. Somewhere y'all got two different economists and mathematicians down there, and one of them is wrong. So we need to figure this out. Which one of y'all are wrong?
I actually
do the mathematics.
Yeah.
Math don't lie.
And by the way, I ain't caping for Trump. I'm just trying to tell you a story. By your own admission, through the government, they said Black wealth dropped at least 40% since 2020. So where's the correlation between lowest Black unemployment ever under your administration and the money? What's not working? Where's the disconnect? We need to know this. Maybe you'll explain it. I cut you off. Maybe you'll explain it.
Get to work in our country, but that also knowing that should be a baseline, that everybody has a job. And what we should be invested in is also building wealth in the community and intergenerational wealth. And I have many, many examples of that. But again, part of the challenge that I face is that they are trying to scare people away because they know they otherwise have nothing to run on. Ask Donald Trump what his plan is for Black America. Ask him.
He already told us. Where do you think? Okay, command me. Since Charlemagne's scared to tell you, I'll tell you. Why do you think Vote the Couch got so popular? Because both sides ain't offering nothing. So why the fuck are we going outside to vote for either one of you? We'll focus on local and state. When it comes to that line, yeah, we'll write some bullshit. Maybe y'all will learn then. Oh, by the way, family, maybe you didn't know this, but your voting record is public knowledge. So they'll know if you voted or not. So when you get the record numbers of Black votes voting and you still lose, you're going to understand why you lost. Or the other man. I don't give a damn who wins. I've protected my family. And hopefully the family over here has protected theirs. We know you two ain't going to do nothing. We know this. Whoever goes into office and their administration ain't going to do shit. Because quiet as it's kept, if Trump wins, okay, he only got 4 years. He could just do whatever he want to do because he's gone anyway. You get in, you're going to destroy the country anyway. And you're just going to galvanize Republicans in 28. They're going to send out somebody we ain't never seen before. And he or she's going to be the person that's going to whoop your ass. So it's either we get to do this dance again in 4 years with both sides trying to pick a candidate to go send out there, or we're going to have somebody that's ready that's going to landslide you. So it is what it is. We damned if we do, damned if we don't. But, you know, like the cousins and those in B1, we persevere through adversity. But continue. Tell us more.
What, you know, I'll tell you what it is. Look at Project 2025.
Here we go
Project
again.
2025 tells you.
This is the second time she's mentioned it.
Making police departments have stop and frisk policies. The plan includes
Eric Adams started that, by the way, but go ahead.
Making it more difficult for workers to receive overtime pay.
I know somebody's going to say it was the Republicans, but I'm just saying Eric Adams ran on that. So there's that.
The plan includes ending the ability of Medicare to negotiate drug prices. You know what we have done? He said he would. We did, which means that that's how we brought down the cost of prescription medication.
You actually didn't. It's still over $1,000, but you don't want to tell folk that. But go ahead.
His plan includes making it more difficult for working people to get by and to destroy our democracy. You know what he said?
You already did that, ma'am. So him is just going to be destroying it more. You already did that. It's funny, after his budget in 2021, when prices were still low, all of a sudden, when your budget kicked in, everything went sky high. It's funny how that works. Go ahead.
Says he'll do terminate the Constitution of the United States.
That's right.
Let me remind folks, you know what's in the Constitution of the United States? The Fourth Amendment.
Ma'am, he can't destroy the Constitution without Congress. And you're a lawyer. You should know this.
Which protects you against unreasonable searches and seizures.
Oh, geez. Yeah, because the cops have really abided by that 100%. Like you have. You never followed that, ma'am. You usurped the Fourth Amendment. Yes, you did. There's stories out there in California, but go ahead.
Fifth Amendment, the Sixth Amendment, the 14th Amendment, and he's going to terminate the Constitution of the United States?
14th Amendment, yeah. Okay.
Which in most of those amendments, one thing or another was about a movement spurred by Black people to ensure that we would be equally protected under the law.
Who is we? Who is we?
Listen, we got.
Who is we? This chick's great.
As we passed an executive order, we down the cost of prescription medication. Constitution of the United States, which in most of those amendments, one thing or another was about a movement spurred by Black people to ensure that we would be equally protected under the law. Come on.
Let's take a question from Talkback.
Yes.
Hi, my name is Joshua Fisher, age 31 years old, African-American male from Las Vegas, Nevada. I'd like
Nigga, you sound sassy.
to ask Madam Vice President what laws does she have planned to make sure that there's a stop to police brutality and murders that have been going on viciously?
So again, the work that I have done through my career, and the most recently, even when I was in the United States Senate.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Listen,
the work that I have done through my career, and the most recently, even when I was in the United States Senate, to help write the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. Cory Booker and I worked very closely on that.
Could you tell people why that didn't pass too? Give folks a quick civics lesson.
We couldn't get the votes in Congress. There's a clip somewhere of me fighting with a Republican senator to actually get it passed. We couldn't get it passed. But what we did when we came in office and during the time that I've been vice president is we passed an executive order. So whereas we were trying, and I have been trying to make these things national so that everyone would have to do it, an executive order by the president and our administration says that for federal law enforcement, the following things have to happen, which we for the first time put in place. No-knock warrants.
Federal, because the feds are really the ones doing most of the no-knock warrants. The feds. It's the feds that are knocking off black people unarmed most times. It's the feds. Because it was the feds that took out Breonna Taylor, right? It was the feds that took out George Floyd. It was the feds that took out Sandra Bland, right? It was the feds that took out Walter Scott. It was the feds that took out Philando Castile. It was the feds that took out Tatiana Jefferson. It was the feds that took out Botham Jean. It was the feds that took out Amir Locke. The feds. Okay. Continue, madam. You're really making your case for me to go vote for you.
Get to work.
Barring chokeholds, a national database. Now it's for federal law enforcement, but a national database for us to collect information and track police officers who have broken the law. And this is no small issue, this piece, in addition to everything else, because as we know, we've seen plenty of examples.
How'd that work for what's his name? How'd that work for the killer cop of Tamir Rice? How'd that work? The motherfucker ended up in West Virginia. How'd that work for the cop down there in Florida who shot old boy in the car? How'd that work for Roger Fortson? How'd that work? This database, man. Database.
Of a police officer who committed misconduct in one jurisdiction and then goes to another jurisdiction and gets hired because there's no place that's
that
tracking
motherfucker got
their
hired.
misconduct. So these are some of the things that we've done. And then listen, I'm still going to always work on getting the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act passed. Part of the work that I'm doing as a candidate for President of the United States includes lifting up those candidates who are running either for re-election or for the first time to Congress, who are supportive of what we need to do on all of the issues we've been discussing, whether it be freedom to vote and passing the John Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Act.
Oh my God.
Whether it be freedom to make decisions about your own body, whether it be the freedom to just be and be free from any brutality, including police brutality when and where it occurs.
I think a lot of the frustration comes from people who will say sometimes politicians volunteer lies because, yes, it's great to try to pass the George Floyd Policing Act, but you probably know you can't get the votes. So why push that? Why push that on people? Know you can't get the votes.
I don't subscribe to that approach, and I'm going to tell you why. It took
because y'all keep making money every time you put it on the floor. Just tell them the truth. There's incentives to make sure them bills get through because you get incentives. You get paid more. You get to boost your profile. You get to say the one that you got a bill to protect black folks. Do you know how much currency that's going to carry with you in life? You scumbags just want bills passed so it'll be immortalized. You don't give a damn. Why is it we know about the 42 people who voted against the C-19 bill, but the 364, y'all don't even go out there and tout it no more? Because y'all look at it as a stain if it passes. Because now you're held to a standard. When it fails, you got an excuse.
A long time for the Voting Rights Act to get done. It took, the brutality of what happened.
Didn't even go get some tea,
John
beloved.
Lewis and all those were trying to cross the Edmund Pettus Bridge. It took a lot of work over our history to do what we have accomplished thus far, and we have to remain committed.
How do you convince Republican senators?
I'm gonna tell you something.
Well, part of it, but part of it is that their constituents are part of this. I mean, we have plenty of folks who want this, who live in districts where they serve. And this is the point. This gets back to the earlier point about you can't let anybody take you out of the game by not voting. You got the solutions, and maybe this is the point you're making about what President Obama said. The solutions are not going to happen just overnight. And the solutions that we all want are not going to happen in totality because of one election. But here's the thing. The things that we want and are prepared to fight for won't happen if we're not active and if we don't participate. We cannot allow circumstances to take us out the game, because then basically what we're saying is all those people who are obstructionists, who are standing in the way of change, they're winning because they're convincing people that it can't be done. So take yourself out. Don't participate. Look at that circle. Look at that vicious circle then. So let's not fall for it.
Zeke, this is my man Zeke. He's the president and CEO of New Era Detroit. He wants to talk to you about your blackmail agenda for the black community. Or just your agenda for the black community, period. Zeke, what's up, brother?
What up, though? What up, though? Madam Vice President.
You know what? I'm not. That's how he talks. That's fine. That's fine.
Charlemagne Tha God. What up, though? And welcome to Detroit.
Yes, sir. It's good to be back.
I like to say the real Detroit because I'm up in here. My name is Zeke.
I don't give a damn.
New Era founder and CEO. And I worked on the ground here in Detroit and in black communities all across the country for over the past 10 years, actually celebrating our 10th year this past August. All right. In my 10 years of organizing, we played a major role in the resurgence of pride and the change in mindset in Detroit neighborhoods across the city. We are not only known for the work that we do here in Detroit, but across the country in black communities, having worked in over 35 cities of the blackest cities in America. Saying all that to say, I'm extremely qualified to sit in front of the current vice president and which can be the next president of the United States of America. As I pose my question to you, I would first like to make it known that I don't have any emotional connections to politicians. I believe that this is one of our biggest flaws in the current political process. I view politics as a business, and America is one of the biggest corporations in the world. With that being said, I'm here on behalf of the business of the black community.
Sir, you're not speaking for me, but okay, go ahead.
With all that black Americans have been through and contribute to the success of America, I feel that there should be an in-depth investigation or evaluation of the lack of resources and current living conditions in black communities nationwide. My question to you is, what's your stance on reparations? We all know that America became great, off the backs of free black labor. How progressive are you on making it a priority and righting America's wrongs? It's understood that you are running for president for all people of America. Asking for specifics for black communities doesn't mean don't do for others, but black Americans are heavily asked to vote Democrat in every election for over half a century with very little in return. What are your plans to address these very important issues and change that narrative?
Thank you, Zeke.
I appreciate that. Thank you. And thank you for your work. So to your point, yes, I am running to be a president for all Americans.
Ma'am, don't you start with the All Lives Matter stuff. Don't do it.
That being said, I do have clear eyes about.
Oh, God. She uses Visine. We don't need to know that you use Visine for clear eyes. Get to the show. He asked you about reparations. Come on, let's get to the show.
The disparities that exist and the context in which they exist.
Okay, that's great. You know where the problems are. You know what the problems are. You mentioned it earlier with the home appraisals. You mentioned it with redlining. Okay, good. So that must mean you're going to tell us that you are in favor of a comprehensive reparations package for the descendants of American slavery. Right? Let's hear.
Meaning history, to your point. So my agenda, well, first of all, on the point of reparations, it has to be studied. There's no question. And I've been very clear about that position.
You bitch, you bitch. Oh my God, you bitch. You bitch. You bitch. You are a bitch. You are a bitch. He's a bitch. I hate her.
Then shut the fuck up in 2024.
Yo, you sound dumb.
You bitch. I already heard that clip, but just to hear it again. You bitch. She's not a goon. You bitch.
I'm not doing this.
I need one. My makeup.
If y'all could only see my facial expression when I was saying all that. You know what the problems are. You still need to study it. You know what it is. Okay, madam, let me help you. You got the ma'am, you know what the problems are. Okay. You have banks that are literally sitting there paying out to black folks that you brought up to Uncle Roro, home appraisals. That should be your in. Police brutality. There's your in. You just talked about the Central Park 5. You know there's a disparity in black education. You talked about charters and vouchers to go to different schools. There's your in. You damn near went through all the 9 areas of human activity. But you still got to study it for reparations. Kiss my ass.
In terms of my immediate plan, I will tell you a few of the following. One, as it relates to the economy, which is a lot of what you have addressed. Look, I grew up a small business, same point, right? So my plan includes making sure that for first-time home buyers, they have a $25,000 down payment assistance to just get their foot in the door, because we know folks will work hard, they'll save, and pay that monthly mortgage. Second point is to bring down the cost of housing generally, because one of the issues is we have a housing supply.
Hold on. I need that part again. I think where the person I got this from, they said their computer fell asleep. So let me see something. I might have to go, what was that, like 25 minutes? Okay. Let me get it from YouTube real fast. I think that wasn't the answer. Hold on one second. Let me start with, okay, we're gonna start back where Zeke asked that question. By the way, the likes and dislikes on this is the same, 2.4 thousand. Okay, so there was her answer. So, okay. So we missed a little bit of it. Okay, I could go back to Twitter now. I don't know if y'all heard it, but she says study and then some other crap. So I don't know if you heard it. Y'all probably didn't hear it. She said something about studying it and then going into that plan that we heard before I stopped it.
A small business, same point, right? So my plan includes making sure that for first-time home buyers, they have a $25,000 down payment assistance to just get their foot in the door, because we know folks will work hard, they'll save and pay that monthly
in your
mortgage.
ass.
Second point is to bring down the cost of housing generally, because one of the issues is we have a housing supply shortage, and so that's about working with the private sector. In terms of our small businesses, which are part of the backbone of the economy of the Black community and part of the backbone of America's economy writ large. My second mother, the woman who helped raise us, was a small business owner. I know who our small business owners are, and I have convened Black small business owners way before I was running for president in my official office at the White House to talk with young entrepreneurs, mostly young, about the work that they are doing that is about clean energy work, technology, as well as the traditional, whether it be a barbershop or a restaurant. One of the big issues facing Black entrepreneurs and Black small businesses is access to capital. Because unlike my opponent, who got handed $400 million on a silver platter and then filed bankruptcy 6 times, don't forget that, calls himself a businessman. Not everybody has access to the capital, but we know in the community we do not lack for ambition, aspirations, dreams, hard work ethic. And so my work has been as vice president to increase billions of dollars into community banks. And as vice president, part of that work will also be to change the tax deduction for startup small businesses from $5,000 to $50,000, because nobody can start a small business on $5,000. And if you don't otherwise have intergenerational wealth, how are you going to be able to do it? Second point on small business is this. I'm going to do, basically, it's a program that is about a $20,000 non-refundable loan to to basically businesses that don't have access to wealth and don't have those.
Non-refundable? What are you talking about? I thought it was forgivable. What is she talking? Oh, Lord. She mixing up the script. I thought that loan was forgivable, not non-refundable. Those are two different things. Oh, Lord. Somebody put her to sleep.
Be quiet! Shut up!
Relationships, which is going to directly impact a lot of small business, Black-owned small businesses. That $20,000 non-refundable loan is what would help somebody if they need to buy equipment, right? If they need to buy an extra truck, depending on what that business is, which we know that's a big part of what holds back our small businesses. Just having enough capital to actually pay for the things that allow you to then put your hard work into play.
What is she talking about?
Grow your business. The other piece, and this is something that is critically important, is to see Black folks, and in particular Black men, as a whole human being. And understand that we are talking about sons, we are talking about fathers, we are talking about grandsons, we're talking about grandparents, we're talking about uncles. And so I say that as a preface to say 2 other things, and then I'll keep going. One, to deal with.
Oh.
I mean, you like that? You caught that.
Okay, filibuster, ma'am. Go.
To deal with healthcare for Black people and Black men in particular. We know that we still have a lot of work to do to increase, for example, the high risk that we have for colon cancer, for prostate cancer, right? And to increase screenings and to make sure that people are actually going to get the screenings. Not to mention the higher risk for sickle cell. God. So part of my agenda is about what we will do to deal with and highlight what we've got to do to focus on Black men's health.
Oh,
And then
Lord.
a similar point is this: 40% of caregivers are men. And we know culturally we
what does
take care of our elders.
What is
And
this?
we have a lot of men in the community who are in the sandwich generation, who are trying to take care of their young
What is
kids
she
and take care of
talking
an elder
about?
parent or relative. And it's overwhelming for people to be able to do both. And a lot of people have to end up thinking about leaving their job to just do it.
That's right.
So my plan is this: one, in order for people to then afford assistance for hiring healthcare, home healthcare, they basically have to go broke to be eligible for Medicaid. My plan is this: let's have Medicare, and this is I've mapped it out, and we can make it work. Medicare cover the cost of home health care for seniors, which means that you are looking at individuals in the context of their whole family. Because what we know is, again, understanding the culture, understanding the reality. Lots of people are having to leave work in order to do that. So these are some examples of my agenda. And overall, it is an agenda that understands, by the way, because we've talked already a lot about criminal justice, that the needs of the Black community are not just about criminal justice.
We need that money.
It's about, because here's the thing. We have brought down Black unemployment, I said this earlier, to one of the lowest levels in history. But I'm very clear. The community is not going to stand up and applaud just because everybody has a job. That should be a baseline. My agenda is about tapping into the ambitions and the aspirations, knowing that folks want to have an opportunity. If they want, they should have a meaningful opportunity to build wealth, including intergenerational.
Okay. I'm sorry. I had to take the reason I was quiet just now was I had to decode what the hell she was talking about. I think I got it. Let me show you what the AI came up with. What is she talking about? My head hurts. She went from reparations, asked about reparations, to that 5-point BS plan. And Charlemagne didn't even be like, listen, you didn't answer this man's question.
Get to work.
Well, and that's my agenda.
You know, there's a couple of things that you said.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you. There was a couple of things that you said that people would say were talking points, but it's really just your story, even though they are becoming your greatest hits when you talk about the middle class and your godmother being a small business owner. But that's just your story.
It's my story. Look, I've been in this race 70 days. Some people are just getting to know me. Other people have known me.
What?
And I owe it. Listen, I feel very strongly I need to earn every vote.
Ma'am, you've been in office how long? What do you mean? Well, you know what? She's right. People ain't know you because you hid for 3 years. You go weeks without people even knowing you still around. I ain't gonna hold you. That first time when they had you gone for about 2 months, I thought you got fired on the low. Ever since he made you borders are, you disappeared. Oh, you're gonna tell me you're working on foreign policy, right? And how'd that work out? You got people taking our money.
Which is why I'm here having this candid conversation with you and your listeners.
Candid. All right, but you got people in the studio.
People's support. And I am working to do that.
Before we go to another talkback call, I want to say there was a time I had a politician tell me once that if you're running for a national election, it's bad electoral strategy to say you are going to do things specifically for Black people, which is why a lot of politicians don't speak directly to their plans for Black people. Is that a thing?
I don't know that that's true. I think that what is true is that I am running to be president for everybody. but I'm clear-eyed about the history and the disparities that exist for specific communities, and I'm not going to shy away from that. It doesn't mean that my policies aren't going to benefit everybody, because they are. Everything I just talked about will benefit everybody. Small business owners, whatever their race, their age, their gender, their geographic location, are going to benefit from the fact that I'm going to extend tax deductions to $50,000.
What is she
Every
talking
first-time
about?
homeowner, wherever they are, whatever their race, will benefit if they are a first-time home buyer with a $25,000 down payment assistance. Everyone
Tax
is going to
break.
benefit from my plan to extend the child tax credit to $6,000 for the first year of their child's life. That's going to benefit everybody. But I do realize, again, that on the issue of home ownership, for example, Black people are 40% less likely to own a home. So
Do you do you feel like President Obama stepped on your rollout? Because I know you've been working on this blackmail agenda for a long time, and you've been doing the outreach.
When the hell did she work on a blackmail agenda? When was this? Charlemagne, you trying to get a job? I see it. When did she work on a you mean on the way over to Detroit? They came up with it from the airport when they were riding down when they ride down 8 Mile, right? That's when she came up with it. When they were going up in the escalator to her room. That's when they came up with it. Okay. By the way, family, she's still going off script. I don't understand this. Why is she going off script? Somebody help her. I apologize if y'all need some aspirin. Just give me your Cash App, and I'll give you like I'll put like $3 there, and I might get you one pill, according to her. No, she wants you to take that $25,000 and go through the FHA process.
Why do you feel a necessity to insult people?
Again.
Is that
where's the script? Where's the script? Read the script.
Is this a big defensive thing that you've
Read
got?
the script.
Why don't you read your own script?
Which was the Opportunity Economy Tour and things like that.
Yeah.
But then he made the statements that he made last week, so everybody thinks this is a reaction to that.
Oh, no. I mean, you just have to, no, obviously not. I've been doing this for quite some time, including before I was running for president.
Let's go to Talkback, Eddie.
Hi, I'm Bobby from Georgia, and I have a question for Kamala
Now you know damn well he ain't black.
Harris. Could you please respond to Trump's claim that he's going to use the Alien Enemies Act of 1798 to round up immigrants if he wins the election? This law was last used to put Asian Americans in internment camps during World War II, and I have a sneaking suspicion that if Trump wins, he's going to use this law to put anyone that doesn't look white in camps, and I'm scared.
What? Sir. Oh, man. You hear how scared they sound? Now, that just confirmed you that he ain't black. Okay, ain't no black folks sitting up there worried about some obscure law. Sir, if they were going to do that, they would have done it already. Now they just throw it out. They just throw it out BS now. Okay. Get some. They so scared. They scared. Okay, great. Let's just say he did all that, right? You do know he got to go too, right? Oh, yeah. Mr. Talkback, the last person. Yeah, if Trump invokes that law and it passes, he's got to go too. Maybe you didn't know that. So we'd be without a president. Kamami would have to go too. Most of Congress would have to go. We probably wouldn't even have a Congress. I'd have to leave. My daughter can stay. My wife can stay. Yeah, me and my family, my side of the family. Yeah, we gotta go. Okay. It'd probably be what about what y'all say conservative, about 80 million people here. That's a lot of resources. You know what? Shout out to y'all if that happens. Fun times. That'd be hilarious. I bet them papers when y'all be laughing, when they be laughing at y'all when y'all present y'all photos and your papers saying how far back generations you go on this land, it ain't gonna be so funny now. They're gonna be sitting there with the AI and all that. Oh boy, they don't get it. He probably had to go wherever his people from. It's okay. I won't mind doing these broadcasts while y'all hearing the palm trees and the ocean. Cause I'll be damned if some Jamaican down there try to tell me I can't be on this beach or some white man.
Get to work!
Yeah. So you've hit on a really important point and expressed it, I think, so well, which is he is achieving his intended effect to make you scared. He is running full time on a campaign that is about
You should be scared.
fear, not about hope, not about
Hope.
optimism, not about the future, but about fear. And so this is yet another example. Look what he did in saying that those legal immigrants in Springfield, Ohio,
Oh Lord, here we go
were
again.
eating their pets. And by the way, the hypocrisy of it abounds, because on the issue of immigration, let's be clear. Some of the most conservative members of the United States Congress, working with others, came up with a border security bill, which was the strongest, toughest border security bill in a long, long time.
Who cares? So this is what Trump. I mean, that got us through 2009. I'm just saying, if you was Jamaican, that got you through 2009. We should make sure they play that as we get on them planes. I'm just saying.
Get to work!
Actually reduced significantly the number of illegal crossings and tightened up what needs to happen in between ports of entry. But no, we've been working on it ever since. But
so what went wrong?
But here's what has to happen. Congress has to act to fix the immigration system, and it has been broken for a long time. Congress has to act, but it does not help when finally a bipartisan group got together to fix it. And Donald Trump told them, hold on, don't do that, because it won't help me politically.
Mm-hmm. Why do you allow them to call you the border czar when that's not even your?
Biden put her in charge of the border, sir. She's supposed to be in charge of that as foreign policy. So yes, she is the czar. That is her domain, the border. Don't try to wiggle her out of it.
That wasn't your
I'm
role.
not giving him permission for that.
Oh, you're right. But I mean,
and there you go. She just admitted that she's the border czar and didn't do a damn thing. There you go. Thank you, Charlemagne. That was the first great question that you asked all night.
You don't push back on it because that wasn't your role. What
fact checkers have made that clear. Look.
So fact checkers were wrong, madam. VP is in charge of foreign policy. The border is part of foreign policy. Oops.
If I responded to every name who called me, I wouldn't be focused on the things that actually help the American people, and that's my focus.
That is true. Before we go to talk back, I want to say something else. I don't feel like the Biden administration has treated Trump like a real threat to democracy, and that's why America doesn't realize how much of a threat he is. It's one thing to say it, but
because Charlemagne, you want to know why they're not doing it? Because he's part of white supremacy. So is Biden. Them two sons of bees are probably texting each other lovey-dovey texts all day, laughing at Kamami. calling her all type of Indian bees and all that. Huh.
Is a living, breathing insult to my existence.
Charlemagne, the perfect question you should have asked her is, why the Democrat Party don't like you? Why are they not supporting you? Oh, you don't believe me? Answer me this. When Obama ran, right, didn't all them Democrat senators go outside talking about, oh, he's the greatest, y'all need to go vote for him? They even did it for Biden, right? This is just recent history. Please, outside of them coons that they got over there in the Congressional Black Caucus in Congress, tell me which representatives and senators went outside and said, now listen to me when I ask you this. Name me the senators or representatives that went outside and said, Kamemi is the choice. Do not get Donald Trump back in. I'll wait. I'll check the comments while this continues to play, because I'm sure there's going to be a flood of names.
But you have to act on it. Don't you believe Merrick Garland should have moved faster to put Donald Trump in prison for leading an attempted coup of this country?
The
court's already proved he didn't do it. Now let's move on.
Department of Justice has independence in terms of how they make those decisions.
And she just explained white supremacy again.
Should. And let's also be very clear.
What do you think?
Well, no. Donald Trump has been very clear that he would weaponize the Department of Justice against his political enemies. He has been very clear.
What administration has never done that?
That he would take out the independent folks who are in there and put in there instead his loyalists. So understand, again, you talk about, because this brings back to exactly your point about threats to our democracy. Donald Trump.
Donald drunk. We know who's drunk. Donald drunk. Yes, Left Curry. Yes. Stephen A. Slit. The Dolly Garum.
Would go into the Department of Justice and manipulate it in such a way that it would be used as a weapon against his political enemies.
Yeah, he's going to lock y'all up if he gets back in office.
He's going to lock y'all up. You hear him? Hey, she over there, she fermenting collard greens into wine. You heard what I said?
Well, by the way, you should look at his words. I don't think that you as a journalist should feel so sure that
100%. I'm out of here.
Journalists, judges, others. And you know who does that? Dictators do that. Other countries do that, which is say that you're going to send, as he has, the military to go and suppress peaceful protesters.
Military can't be turned on its own people, but keep going.
That happens in other countries. That's not supposed to happen in America.
Can't do it in America. There's a provision. Can't do it. Military can stand down if they were told to turn their guns on their own citizens. Keep going.
So do understand when this man says what he says, how that would play out in real time.
So why is it okay for him to say he'll lock up his political opponents, but it's not okay for y'all to say he should be in prison when he's actually committed crimes?
Oh, I've been very clear. I think that the court should handle that. And I'm gonna handle November.
The court should handle that. Okay, let's go to talk back, Eddie. What we got?
President Harris. Our men and women in the military are sent to foreign countries to fight for their freedom. Win or lose, Donald Trump has promised to seek revenge. My question is, will our military be there to fight for our freedom after the election should Trump start another insurrection?
The military cannot be turned on its own people, madam. But go ahead. That's what they got Capitol Police for.
Well, you raise a profound point that is very much a part of this election cycle in terms of what the American people have a choice right now. So, January 6th, Donald Trump incited a violent mob to try and undo the will of the people.
Oh, God, no, he didn't. But okay. Okay. Because y'all act like that man paid for only people to fly out to D.C. Y'all act like that man was at the front and said, storm the Capitol. He was on the ground in front of the Capitol telling him to go inside, right? He did that, right? Oh, Lord, have mercy. Man, Capitol Police started that, but, let y'all tell it. I know y'all don't want to hear that. Yeah, Capitol Police started that. They were just outside. Who was throwing the bean bags and the tear gas? Yeah, it was Capitol Police. Yeah, okay. But, I'm going to get in trouble for saying that. But let's continue.
And undo the results of a free and fair election. That violent mob attacked the United States.
That violent mom,
140 law enforcement officers.
Violent mom, she can't even talk no more.
Officers were injured. Some of them were killed. And he has said since then that there will be a bloodbath after this election. He has, on your point about the military, referred to members of our military as suckers and losers.
Ooh.
Which is why, by the way, do see the number of military leaders who worked under his administration who are supporting me.
Who cares?
And I will point out what everyone knows, which is that the people who worked the closest with Donald Trump when he was president, worked with him in the Oval Office, saw him at play in the
Back
situation
on the script.
room, his chief of staff, 2 secretaries of defense, national security advisor, and his former vice president.
And why should I care?
Have all said he is dangerous and unfit to serve. Mark Milley, the former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, most recently articulated exactly that point. And again, here's Charlemagne, one of the things that I think is really ironic, but at play. Donald Trump, through his way of trying to name call and demean and divide.
Ma'am, this was supposed to be a town hall for you to sit on a black platform and talk about what you're going to do to forward the country. Why are you turning this into a Trump bashing session? Let him go do that in front of the white supremacists. You're supposed to be here talking about policy. Where is the policy? Where is the money? Where is the positives and negatives of this? Show me the balance sheet, madam. You've been talking for damn near 40 minutes and I ain't hear nothing about them children one time. They must have switched around the script a little bit so it doesn't sound the same. How are you going to bring down food prices? You worried about drug prices? Newsflash, not every black person, white person, Asian or Latino or mixed are on drugs, prescription or otherwise. So most of us are not going to care about it at this point. God willing. What are you going to do for the grocery stores, madam? Y'all are letting monopolies pop up every day. How are you going to incentivize farmers to buy and land and tend to it, even though y'all selling it out to China every other day? Where are the STEM programs for the children? Where's the recertification of middle school and high school so we can get tradesmen and tradeswomen out there so we can fill up them jobs that are still sitting there? Where is that legislation? Where is the oil legislation, man? You're supposed to make us energy independent so we'll have more money. Where is that legislation? You ain't said shit about that one time. All right. I figured as much.
Tries to project as though those things are a sign of strength, when in fact the man is really quite weak. He's weak. It's a sign of weakness that you want to please
like your husband smacking around women,
dictators, and seek their flattery and favor. It's a sign of weakness that you would demean America's military and America's service members. It's a sign of weakness that you don't have the courage to stand up for the Constitution of the United States and the principles upon which it stands. This man is weak and he is unfit.
So are you.
So why is everybody sitting around acting like Donald Trump isn't going to plan to steal this election if he loses? Like,
Charlemagne, that's very dangerous what you're saying.
You know, Republican officials won't certify the results of the election. We know it's Donald Trump's Supreme Court. Why are people acting like this is going to be a free and fair election? And he won't try to steal it.
Wasn't that free and fair last time? I'm sorry, maybe I missed it. Didn't that man try to sue all them places and nothing was found? So isn't that the definition of free and fair? And y'all won. Now y'all talking about he trying to steal. Sure. See what I tell you? They'll switch their ideologies based on the issue. Now all of a sudden the Democrats are talking about he gonna steal the election. You hear this? Oh God, this is so much fun.
Well, but those are two different points.
Okay.
So it will be a free and fair election if we, the American people, stand up for that.
Who's we?
You know, I see it as this. I think that democracy has, it's like 2 points of nature. One, there's a fact about a democracy that when it is intact, the strength that it possesses in terms of the protection of people's individual rights and liberties. When a democracy is intact, we protect your rights and your liberties. Strength. Democracy is also very fragile.
Who is we?
It will only be as strong as our willingness, we the people, to fight
Who is
for
we?
it. And that is election. Fight for our democracy. Flawed though it is.
You sound like Abby Phillips on January 6th.
Imperfect though it may be. Because there are two real paths right now. The man has told you he intends to terminate the Constitution. The man has told you all these things.
My God, ma'am, he can't. You're a lawyer. I'll say it again. You're a lawyer. He can't terminate the Constitution without getting 3/4 of Congress to sign off on it. And no Republican is going to be stupid enough to shut down the Second Amendment. Are you insane? You going to tell me that man's... Okay. Okay, fine. He's going to do it. Let's listen.
About his disregard and disrespect for your freedoms and liberty, including the right of a woman to make decisions about her own body.
Here we go again.
And he hand-selected 3 members of the United States Supreme Court with the intention they would do exactly what they did.
And y'all confirmed all 3, so shut up.
One out of 3 women in America lives in a state with the Trump abortion ban. You know, every state except Virginia in the South has an abortion ban. You know where the majority of Black women live? In the South.
Yeah.
In those same states that have some of the highest rates of Black maternal mortality.
And you ain't said nothing about it since 2021. Keep going.
and they want to strut around talking about this is in the interest of women and children, and they've been silent on an issue like Black maternal mortality.
That's not his issue. You made it that your issue and you were quiet.
But I know the people are aware and clear-eyed. And
Here she go again with the Visine drop. Okay. Okay. She just loves telling us how she's clear-eyed.
For dry, red eyes, Clear Eyes is awesome. Unlike the other leading eye drop, it removes redness and has an ingredient to moisturize. Wow. The difference is clear. Clear Eyes.
Thanks, Kamami. We know now. I was wrong about Visine. You're shilling for Clear Eyes. Maybe when you lose, you can be the new spokeswoman for Clear Eyes.
I do believe that on election day, and early voting in Michigan starts in 4 days, people are going to go to the polls and they're going to vote.
Are they going to take their booties
to
with
stand
them?
up for these principles and to stand up for their rights to freedom and liberty and to live and just be free to be. I believe that.
What about be and do? Oh, you're only saving that for Kwanzaa. I forgot. My bad.
I want to bring in my guy, Icewear Vezo. He's very politically engaged. I want to ask you a question while he's coming in. It's a quick question. There's a rumor that Janet Jackson is mad at you because you prosecuted her brother, the late great Michael Jackson. That's on the internet. Clear that up for people.
That's just not true.
I know.
Yeah, on either count.
That's not even what people said. Oh Lord. Oh my God.
Oh, she's not mad at you.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I have not talked to her, but certainly it's not true about her brother.
Bezo.
Charlemagne, what's up? Madam Vice President.
How you
doing today?
Who are these fake ass rappers he keeps bringing in here? Who's this fool now? You couldn't get one person? All right, so I went back because I was going to give y'all the link to the comments. So now they're in the positive now, not by much, by only like 200 comments. They must have sent the bots in there. So if y'all want to read the comments, have fun.
As we say in Detroit, what up, though? So yesterday I read that there's a new opportunity agenda, a plan for Black men, which includes a proposal of forgivable loans up to $20,000.
She just went over this, Negro. You weren't listening? Oh, Lord. Skip.
Is building on that and understanding that, I convened, for example, I said this earlier, a group of Black entrepreneurs way before I was running for president in my official office at the White House.
No, somebody recorded it on X, so I'm listening to it on there, so I don't get hit with the copyright. Let's hope.
To hear some of the obstacles that they were facing, and one of them was what we need to do around getting folks the help to just be able to buy the equipment they need to run their business. And oftentimes we find that when Black entrepreneurs and Black people apply for credit, they're denied at a higher rate than others. We have.
Okay, so you know that, but y'all still studying reparations. You could just give them the cash. They could just have the cash and just infuse the cash into their business. They don't have to go through the banks. But we know why you won't do that. Because then they're not beholden to the system.
I've also seen, and the data proves this, that all of the realities also tend to dissuade Black folks and Black entrepreneurs in particular from even applying for credit. So My point is to work on every way that we can approach the issue to encourage people and to invest in their ambition. Because I know the ambition is there. I know the talent is there. I know the innovation is there. And certainly the hard work ethic. So this is not new work for me. And
you should speak to the American Rescue Plan too, because I mean, tens of millions of dollars. I know small businesses in North Carolina that small Black businesses that got tens of millions of dollars because of that. I don't hear you speak to that.
That's right. And that was from the first time, from when we first came in. The American Rescue Plan, the work that we have done, the infrastructure bill.
Don't even talk about that because it's not working.
I mean, part of that is we made a decision that we were going to increase the number of federal contracts that go to historically underrepresented businesses.
And there it is. So it's not Black specific. You just all lives mattered something else. Go ahead.
This was way before I was running for this, years ago. So this is not new work.
Let's go to the talkback feature.
On several occasions recently, Don Lemon has stated that there's a large group of Black men who believe Donald Trump sent them a personal check during COVID because his
God. I don't want to hear that shit.
Checks. And
it does better under Republicans. Why do people believe that? And why don't Democrats push back on that narrative more?
Well, I think that part of the issue is that Democrats probably talk about it more in terms of what we are doing for people rather than the economy, when in fact, when you do for people.
Yes, Republicans, you make more money. Yes. 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 Y'all knew this back in Clinton and you didn't change your mythos, but okay. Oh my God, she's so dumb. Yes. The Republicans want to see the country keep going. Yes, they will spend money. Yes, they will infuse money in your pocket. Yes, the Democrats want to be your friend. They'll give you money, but then they're going to ask for it back. You didn't even use the money yet, and they'll come up to you and be like, "Hey, yo, big head, what's up? You got my money." You fuckers love you Democrats love to spend other people's money and you don't make nothing. Again, family, I want y'all to listen to all her speeches and all her sit downs the last 2 weeks. You tell me when she ever said that this policy that she wants to implement is going to generate this much money. At least Trump lies and tells you, oh, we're going to get all this money back from China in the billions. At least he's lying about that. She hasn't even said, she going to tell you how much money she going to try to go lobby for, which she has to hope that she gets the House back to pull this off. Or she's going to be sitting there as a lame duck for 2 years.
Well, the economy grows. And you are absolutely right, Charlemagne. You will look at the growth of the economy and compare it Democratic and Republican administrations. Democrats have accelerated economic growth.
No, they have not.
My plan, for example. Okay, so some of the smartest economists in the country have reviewed and compared my plan to Donald Trump's plans for the economy. From Goldman Sachs to Moody's to 16 Nobel laureates, and even most recently, the Wall Street Journal.
Oh my God.
And in comparing our two plans, the net result is my plans will strengthen the economy, his plans will weaken the economy. Their reports come back and include the fact that Donald Trump's plans for the economy would accelerate inflation and invite a recession by the middle of next year. My plans would strengthen the economy as a whole.
Ma'am, how is your weed plan going to strengthen the economy? How? Like I said last yesterday. The prime real estate for these dispensaries already taking, ma'am. You gonna send black men and black women into neighborhoods they don't belong in. I shouldn't say belong in, that they will not turn a profit in. Or they're gonna go through neighborhood red tape. What do you, Jesus Christ. You know how you strengthen the economy? I'm going to help you. The next one, I'm going to charge you $50,000. How about you give these businesses abatements for the first year? No rent, no mortgage. That way they don't have to worry about that. Find out how much the rent or the mortgage is on that building if they do the mom and pop. And that should be, okay, you don't have to pay for that for a year. You just give it to the company. And then after that, you got to pay for it. And make sure there's a provision in there they don't jack it up after the first year. That would strengthen the economy, because then they would at least be a lot quicker to get into the black. I think America would be nice to have a whole bunch of businesses operating in the black.
You look at under what we've been doing, you look at the stock market is one of the strongest it's ever been. Wages have outpaced inflation. Inflation is going down to, I think it's now the most recent number is 2.4%.
Oh God, because y'all are inflating them. I'm done. Y'all are out here inflating the numbers. That's why y'all got caught with the jobs numbers that month. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. I'm probably going to regret this, or nobody going to come up. It's okay. There you go. We put the link in there if you want to say something cool. If not, we'll shut it down and I'll go to sleep. Hey, you got people out there shilling for this. They don't even love this woman enough to tell her the truth. All right. We know. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We'll give it another minute. Nobody come up. I'm shutting it down. I'm going to sleep.
Why do you feel a necessity to
You're
insult
acting
people?
again.
Is that
Where's the script? Where's the script? Read the script.
Is this a big defensive thing that you've
Read
got?
the script.
Why don't you read your own script?
That script, boy. Yes, sir.
How many weeks we got left, my dude?
3. It's officially 3.
God.
Well, yesterday was officially 3.
Oh, she said nothing. And
it's a rinse and repeat.
I know, and it is so frustrating. And Charlemagne did not follow up like, hey, that's all well and good. You did mention earlier about the housing tax, but what about the reparations? Like, we need to know that that's been a topic that's been highly discussed.
Ooh, no hand count of balance. It's getting spicy out here. Let's get it.
What happened?
That thing you sent me.
Yeah.
Let's go. Georgia gonna be fun.
Yep, that's true.
Lemon pepper sauce on your ballots. Let's go.
Oh, no hair count. Oh, that's something don't seem right. Something don't seem right. Who's current governor down there again? What's his name?
Brian Kemp.
Kemp,
You got 2 more years.
The one Sugar Bloomers couldn't beat.
Will you look at this? Will you look at this? Sir, we don't care that you went and voted. We don't care.
It's Isaac Hayes the third. Okay.
We don't care that you went and go voted, sir. We know you voted for Command Me. It's okay.
The one thing that he did do is the fact that he did get what's his name to admit that he had a bad upbringing. That's why he throws men under the bus. That what's that clown do? What's his name? Ace Metaphor. That's the one thing Isaac Hayes did to bring that out of him, that he had daddy issues. That's the one thing. Other than that, no, I'm good.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Now you gotta do
it. Stop that shit. I'd rather hear the life is life than that laugh.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. His mic never work when he come on.
Gotta get there you go. He here. Controls. We got you. We can hear you.
He sound like he on the 880.
I don't know what's going on with this mic.
Are you on the Nemitz Freeway?
We can hear you, Don.
He really on the Nemitz Freeway right now. I don't know what's going on with it either. You probably on the Bay Bridge with it.
I'm tired of
it.
I just want to see what it's going to be like when November 6th rolls around.
I'm going to work.
Unfortunately, I think I'm still going to be here.
Ooh.
I'm just waiting for the 5th. You're going to be doing here for 12 hours, you say? Huh.
12 to 12.
Whew. I don't know. How you think this thing going to play out, man? Because
I got my thoughts, but I'll sum it up like this.
And why should I care?
I mean, to a degree.
I don't care, bro.
I understand.
I told y'all, I'm going to say it again. My only focus is to get Nikema Williams down here out of office. That's my only focus.
Yeah.
Because she's been screwing black folks. That's it. I could care less about your POTUS. I could care less. Y'all fight that out.
Yeah, I'm trying to get full up out of here. And he want to run for governor? Shit. All right. No, I'm gonna do no.
I'm not focused on this election. I'm focused on 26. Because we're gonna have a whole bunch of governors and a goddamn Congress. That's what I'm focused on. Because y'all they gonna fuck around, put a whole bunch of people in, they ain't gonna do nothing.
I mean, how much studying do they need? I mean, with all this studying that's going on, you think these motherfuckers be smart? Nope. What's studying? What you studying? How to not study? How to not do? How to stonewall? I'm so sick of hearing this bullshit. Seriously, damn, I wish it was
they're
just
trying to study to figure out how to lowball the number.
Exactly. That's what it is. If we include other people into the situation, other groups, we can still make sure that they get an overbearing amount while the black people get a little bit of amount, but they're included, so they can't complain, but they were part of it. It's just that they got to pick themselves up by the bootstrap. I would shut the fuck up. You play this all the time with us. You play in our face all the time. And I said earlier in the comment section, I got into my family, my immediate family. They still play the lesser of the two evils. I'm telling them, what are y'all doing? But I sound like the crazy one, cause I sound like the crazy younger sibling.
Mm-hmm.
shit nerve-wracking. Like, seriously, I'm just trying to, I don't understand how a lot of black people, I know, fellow black people, how can't they not see this? Some of them
They don't want to see it because they
some of
just
them
want to say that they voted against Trump again. That's it.
You just nailed it right there. You just nailed it right there. You become bleeding hearts for a group of people who acknowledge that your plight and your fight got them where they at, but yet a lot of them will turn around and put that knife in your back. You got outliers that acknowledge that and they respect, but for a lot of them over here, like coming over here now, they don't give a fuck. They don't. But I'm about to go to bed. Thanks for having me up, man.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Real quick. Don. I don't think his thing is working. All right. Well, I'm going to sleep. This was entertaining. Hopefully you learned something. If you did a dumb job. If not, I try to be better next time. Probably see you Thursday because we got to go over that Joy Reid getting owned on Israel. That was funny. Okay. All right. Whatever. Yeah. So, y'all, take care, stay safe, and you know what to do when the agents of chaos kind of mess up your existence. They'll show up with a 5-point plan that's going to help black people, and we all know it ain't going to help nobody but themselves.
Wait around. Yep. Mark, yeet, and get out.
Time's up.
But did we have a good time here? Hello?
At the end of the day gotta end.
Get your money up, not your funny up. Big fucking move.
That's it.